The Cursed Carnival, a Dungeons & Dragons story. Before we start, please take a moment to like and subscribe. This helps us a lot.
The sun began its descent beyond the horizon, casting long shadows that stretched across the abandoned fairgrounds. A haunting stillness settled upon the scene, broken only by the distant rustle of wind through forgotten banners. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy, drawing the attention of a group of adventurers known as the Twilight Seekers. Their leader, a seasoned elf ranger named Elysia, gazed upon the desolate carnival with a mix of curiosity and trepidation. Her keen eyes scanned the dilapidated rides, their once vibrant colours faded and peeling. The grounds were littered with remnants of a bygone era, fragments of laughter and joy that now hung heavy in the air. At Elysia's side stood her trusted companions, Roderick, a stalwart dwarf warrior with an unwavering sense of duty, and Amara, a half-elf sorceress whose eyes sparkled with a hunger for adventure. They exchanged glances, their unspoken agreement to investigate this strange phenomenon binding them together. As the Twilight Seekers ventured deeper into the carnival, they were greeted by an ethereal figure draped in flowing robes. A spectral fortune teller emerged from the shadows, her eyes twinkling with a glimmer of otherworldly knowledge. She introduced herself as Sylara, the Oracle of Lost Souls. Sylara's voice carried a haunting melody as she revealed the carnival's grim secret. "This place," she murmured, her voice trailing like a whisper on the wind, "is cursed. It all began with the haunted carousel, once a source of joy and wonder. But now it is a conduit for a malevolent force, trapping the souls of both visitors and performers within its spectral grasp." Elysia's curiosity grew with each word, her desire to unravel the mysteries intensifying. She leaned in closer, captivated by Sylara's tale. "Tell us more," she urged, her voice barely above a whisper, as if afraid to disturb the fragile balance of this eerie reel. Sylara's gaze turned distant, as if peering into the realms beyond. The curse was born of a deep betrayal, she revealed, her voice filled with a touch of sorrow. Once, the carnival flourished under the watchful eye of a charismatic ringmaster, but his heart twisted with envy and bitterness, and he turned to dark magic to gain power and control. The oracle continued, her voice tinged with melancholy. The ringmaster's lust for power corrupted the carousel, infusing it with a malevolent force. The once vibrant rides now offer deadly challenges, and the trapped souls suffer eternal torment. Elysia's heart swelled with a mixture of empathy and determination. She glanced at her companions, their eyes reflecting her own resolve. They shared a silent understanding. They would not turn away from this plight. Together, they would face the curse, head on, and bring salvation to the lost souls. As the adventurers bid farewell to Sylara, her words of caution echoed in their minds. "Beware, brave seekers," she warned, her voice a haunting echo. "The carousel feeds on despair and grows stronger with each soul it claims. Only through courage, unity, and unlocking the carnival's secrets can you hope to break the curse." A hushed tension filled the air as the Twilight Seekers ventured deeper into the haunted carnival, their footsteps echoing through the silence. The flickering lights from broken lamps cast eerie shadows on their path, adding to the mystique that enveloped the desolate fairgrounds. Elysia, Roderick, and Amara moved with a cautious determination, their senses heightened as they explored the first of the haunted attractions. Their first destination was the Twisted Menagerie, once a sanctuary for exotic creatures that had captivated the imaginations of visitors. Now, it stood as a forsaken prison for animated circus animals, their once playful nature twisted into ferocious hostility. The adventurers approached the iron gates that led to the menagerie, their weapons at the ready. As they stepped into the dimly lit enclosure, a chilling growl reverberated through the air. The shadows seemed to come alive, shifting and morphing into grotesque forms. The Twilight Seekers found themselves face to face with snarling spectres, ethereal manifestations of long-departed creatures. Elysia swiftly notched an arrow onto her bowstring, her aim steady as she targeted the phantom lion that prowled before them. Roderick, his axe gleaming with anticipation, charged forward, his dwarven battle cry piercing the air. Amara summoned her arcane powers, conjuring a swirling vortex of flames to ward off the menacing spirits. The battle that ensued was fierce. The Twilight Seekers fought with unwavering determination, their coordinated efforts a testament to their unity. They maneuvered with agility, striking where the apparitions were most vulnerable, their weapons passing through the spectral forms but weakening them nonetheless. As the last phantom creature dissipated into mist, a sense of accomplishment washed over the adventurers. They paused for a moment, catching their breath and allowing the victory to sink in. However, their respite was brief, for the carnival's enchantment had more trials in store for them. Next, they found themselves drawn to the entrance of a dilapidated funhouse, its once cheerful facade now a haunting reminder of what had been lost. The Twilight Seekers cautiously entered, their footsteps echoing within the empty corridor. The air was thick with anticipation, a palpable unease settling over them. Inside the funhouse, the walls seemed to shift and warp, creating a disorienting labyrinth. Mirrors distorted their reflections, elongating limbs or distorting faces into grotesque caricatures. They navigated the treacherous corridors, their senses heightened as they watched for hidden traps or lurking apparition. With each turn, the funhouse presented them with new challenges. A series of pressure plates triggered spikes from the floor, testing their agility and reflexes. A room filled with spinning tunnels disoriented their senses, forcing them to rely on instinct and intuition to find the correct path. Through perseverance and careful observation, the Twilight Seekers emerged from the funhouse, triumphant but wearied. The challenge had tested their mettle, but it had also strengthened their bond as a team. They paused outside the funhouse, their breaths synchronized, ready to face the next haunted attraction. The Twilight Seekers ventured deeper into the Cursed Carnival, their hearts pounding with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. The air grew colder, and an unsettling mist swirled around them, shrouding the path ahead. Elysia, Roderick, and Amara pressed on, their determination unwavering as they approached the next haunted attraction that awaited them. The entrance to the haunted house loomed before them, its facade crumbling and covered in ivy. As they stepped inside, a chill wind whispered through the corridors, carrying ghostly whispers and echoing footsteps. Shadows danced on the walls, and the adventurers' senses tingled with a heightened awareness of their surroundings. The interior of the haunted house was a labyrinth of winding hallways and hidden chambers, each more sinister than the last. Paintings on the walls came to life, their eerie subjects mocking and jeering at the intruders. Cobwebs clung to the ceiling, brushing against their faces as they cautiously moved forward. The atmosphere grew increasingly oppressive, as if the very walls of the haunted house were closing in on them. Creaking floorboards beneath their feet seemed to betray their presence, causing the adventurers to tread even more lightly. Each corner turned held the promise of a lurking spectre, ready to pounce from the shadows. Amara conjured an orb of light, its gentle glow casting an ethereal illumination on their path. It provided a modicum of comfort amidst the encroaching darkness. Elysia led the way, her senses sharp and her bow at the ready, while Roderick followed close behind, his axe held in a firm grip. As they ventured deeper into the haunted house, they encountered a series of nightmarish challenges designed to prey upon their deepest fears. Illusions of lost loved ones appeared, their haunting whispers and outstretched hands pleading for release. The adventurers' resolve was tested, their minds assailed by phantoms from their past. Elysia's heart clenched as she faced a spectral manifestation of her long-lost mentor, urging her to abandon her quest. Roderick grappled with a vision of his ancestral homeland in ruins, consumed by darkness. Amara confronted a ghostly apparition of herself, taunting her with doubts and insecurities. But the Twilight Seekers were not so easily swayed. With sheer willpower and a shared determination, they fought back against their fears. Elysia drew her bow and released an arrow into the ethereal image of her mentor, dispelling the illusion. Roderick swung his axe with unwavering resolve, shattering the illusion of his fallen homeland. Amara conjured a burst of magical energy, banishing the haunting apparition herself, Doubt. With each fear confronted, the haunted house revealed more of its secrets. Hidden passageways led to hidden chambers, where clues to the curse's origin awaited discovery. The adventurers deciphered cryptic inscriptions and studied faded portraits, piecing together the tragic tale of the twisted ringmaster and the carousel that had become a vessel of darkness. As they approached the heart of the haunted house, the tension grew palpable. They knew that the ultimate confrontation awaited them, where they would face the malevolent force behind the curse. But for now, they steeled themselves for what lay ahead, drawing strength from their unity and their unwavering resolve. The Twilight Seekers, battle-tested and resolute, ventured forth from the haunted house. The carnival still held them in its thrall, but with each challenge overcome, they inched closer to their goal. The curse's grip weakened, its power diminished with each victory. The Twilight Seekers stood at the threshold of the haunted carousel, their hearts pounding with a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. The air crackled with an otherworldly energy, and a sense of foreboding settled over them. Elysia, Roderick, and Amara shared a knowing glance, their eyes reflecting the determination that burned within. As they stepped into the heart of the Cursed Carnival, a haunting melody drifted through the air. The carousel spun slowly, its once colourful horses now transformed into twisted abominations. The figures on the carousel seemed to move of their own accord, their eyes gleaming with malevolence. At the centre of the carousel stood the figure they had come to face, the ghostly ringmaster, his presence commanding. Clad in tattered finery and crowned with a hat adorned with raven feathers, he exuded an aura of dark authority. The ringmaster's spectral form flickered with an ethereal light, his eyes burning with a vengeful fire. With a wave of his hand, the ringmaster set the carousel in motion. The wooden steeds came alive, their jaws opening wide to reveal rows of razor-sharp teeth. The eerie melody intensified, echoing through the night as the carousel spun faster, threatening to throw the night as the carousel's balance. Elysia, her bow drawn and arrow notched, took aim at the ringmaster, her eyes fixed on her target. Roderick's grip tightened on his axe, ready to strike a blow against the malevolent figure. Amara channeled her arcane energies, weaving a protective barrier around her companions. The battle was a dance of blades, arrows, and magic. The ringmaster's spectral form proved elusive, slipping between the spaces of their attacks. He summoned phantom creatures to aid him, forcing the Twilight Seekers to defend themselves against a barrage of spectral terrors. Elysia's arrows whistled through the air, finding their mark in the ethereal form of the ringmaster. Roderick swung his axe with brute force, cleaving through the phantom creatures that threatened to overwhelm them. Amara's spells crackled with power, disrupting the ringmaster's incantations and weakening his hold on the cursed carousel. The battle reached its crescendo as the Twilight Seekers unleashed a coordinated assault against the ringmaster. Elysia's arrow struck true, piercing the ringmaster's chest, causing him to wail in pain and fury. Roderick seized the opportunity, his axe arcing through the air with a resounding thud, severing the ringmaster's spectral form. With a final burst of magical energy, Amara channeled the combined strength of her companions, unleashing a wave of radiant light that engulfed the carousel. The curse's grip weakened, and the haunted carnival trembled with the release of trapped souls. As the light subsided, the ringmaster's form dissipated, leaving only a sense of lingering darkness behind. The haunted carousel slowed to a halt, its corrupted horses returning to their lifeless state. The curse had been broken, and the carnival lay in a state of profound stillness. The Twilight Seekers stood amidst the aftermath, their breathing heavy but triumphant. The haunted carnival was no longer a vessel of darkness. It stood as a testament to their valor and resilience. The trapped souls, now freed from their spectral prison, ascended into the night sky, their faces filled with gratitude and serenity. Word of the adventurers' heroism spread like wildfire, and the carnival that had once been cursed now bloomed with renewed life. Visitors returned, their laughter and joy filling the air once again. The Twilight Seekers were hailed as heroes, their names etched into the annals of the carnival's history. As they bid farewell to the now restored carnival, the adventurers knew that their journey was not yet over. There were other tales to be told, other adventures to be embarked upon. But for now, they revelled in the victory they had achieved, their hearts lightened by the knowledge that they had banished the darkness and brought light back to the haunted carousel.